Mo said in terms of him initially looking at the tribunal process and not agreeing with it because he felt that these young people were showing a militancy that was needed to kind of propel the movement forward. And so, like him, other people wasn't accepting of it initially. You know, they was like, no, these soldiers are down for people. You know, until you begin to look into it yourself. You know, some people just, they were there, they heard it. Other people in the night, they were like, no, this is not true. They'll find ways to skirt around it rather than look at it for what it is. And so I appreciate the fact that you decided to do an investigation yourself and come to your own conclusion, not just rely on what was told to you. You know, so that's something that's independent. And being independent, then you're showing.
What's up?
You want to move it a little bit this way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
And being independent, you're showing that you're not just buying into what someone's told you. You find out things for yourself. And once you begin to discover things, other things come up. I know James, myself, and Tanji had a phone conference with people that was part of the gun club. In Texas, the European Union Gun Club, and we were on the call for a couple hours and share with them detailed information. They were also enthralled with the militant position, you know, and felt that weighed heavier than this evidence of people being abused, you know, people being beat up, electrocuted, stolen from, you know, money stolen from them, in the as it relates to the business people. You mentioned the Latina, which had potential for starting a racial conflict, black-brown conflict, and you know, rather than look at that for what it was, people are in denial. They want to make excuses for them. This didn't happen. This is a COINTELPRO type operation. You know, I mean, you abusing your people in any kind of way. You know, yeah. So those that want to make excuses for them are caught up in the persona of who they think he is. You know, there was a group in Chicago recently that was part of the Black Riders until they found out on their own. They didn't want to accept what was being told to them until they had their own experience and decided, fuck this motherfucker, we're not giving them no more. You know, so you had those situations where people begin to develop themselves. Some of the people up north, in Northern California, they saw things, but they made excuses for it until they had to be real with themselves. The majority of them up north are in the stage of denial. They're the ones, but there are those who looked at this and said, you know, this dude is poison to us, you know, and backed away from it. So those things we got to look at. That's those things that people got to look at. Fuck the state. We ain't talking about the state. We're talking about within our own collective. You know, and I know it's hard for my son. You know, because he believed in this dude. You know, but he found himself always been the one that was subject to arrest. Whenever there was anything happening, he was the one that was going out there putting 10% into this. You know, and he never got any support. he get locked up and that was it. So that's what made him come to that reality that this dude wasn't worth continuing to sacrifice his life over getting nothing in return.
The process that was started, right? And we've got enough experience now where different cities have, went from supporting him to him exposing himself and them having to turn their back on him, right? To give him up. So so it's not like this is something just happened in LA, but it's something that shows the basic character of the man. Right? So that the cult of personality, man, just says that kind of stuff, blind faith in one person can't get it. Ain't the kind of leadership and ain't the kind of way we want to build our organization and our community. And that, and the organization is going to go through and keep trying to cover up for the sucker. And then the organization online is sick too.
Yeah.
So we got to give up whatever it is about that after we investigate, figure out what it is and how they did it, and then expose it. This is for us right at the front end right now before we develop this huge mass movement which is coming. Right? There's a good opportunity for us to clean our shit up so that we can start to really address our problems, because we all got problems. If it was as simple as a lot of folks seem to think it was, we would have got it done back in the 70s. So that's what I believe, that this is real timely for us, that, going to give us a chance to really clean up and especially give us a chance to sum up our history of the 60s and the 70s so that we can learn from it. There's a whole lot of people running around who still don't understand what that was, right? That was a staging time for us to get clear, because the history before that was so cluttered up with this anti-communist crap and all of that stuff, right? And it's like we need to know the history, right, of the Brotherhood, right? The Blood Brotherhood, man. How come they got sucked into the CP? See you later, Frank. And how we have to rely on our own leadership, and we got to develop, cadre level leadership. We can't be just a United Front kinds of leadership. So I think those kind of lessons have got to be summed up and talked about and agreed upon. And I think we'll have, we'll have people that'll be steady there for us. That was one of the problems for us, right? Like you guys, right? The Brotherhood got sucked up into the CP, but then when they realized that the CP turned their backs on, right, and repudiated the nation, right, what happened to the Brotherhood? No. You guys didn't have it, the Panthers didn't have it to fall back on. We didn't have it to fall back on. In the Japanese community, Asian community, there was this level, core leadership, but they followed the white guys. So, we didn't have nowhere to turn to. They were afraid of us because we were anti-Russia, right? Anti-Stalinist kind of thing, right? So, and we were Maoists, so, the old left, right? Mao was so, anyhow, we will prevail.
Definitely.
Thanks. Do y'all share what your thoughts on Novick yet?
No.
Just real quick.
I can sum this up real quickly with those that are in denial, those that are caught up in the personification of this dude and not making excuses, not looking at the reality of it. And Novick is right there with him. And this is someone who's real intelligent, so it makes me question his motivation. Why are you supporting someone? And not only that, why are you articulating or passing along this line that this information is bullshit, that is government sponsored or government inspired, when you know the reality? You're not dumb. So, and part of the sanctions was anybody that continues to support him, they also would be targeted. Because you're actually an enemy of the people.
Yeah, for me, Michael was a personal friend. I've known him for years, but with Jitu sharing with us about what happened in Chi, what happened in Texas. I mean, it ain't like it's an isolated thing that just is something about LA.
Right.
Then maybe Michael's position might make some sense. But when it's beginning to be universal, in terms of our movement all over, especially the movement in the black community, I mean, that's what he's got to respect. And if he can't respect that, then he's got a big problem, because then he gets into like liberalism, where they think they're going to support us, but they're going to tell us how to support us.
Thanks, Mo.
Okay, Mo.
Cool.
Okay.